What are the best Assassin's Creed games ranked? In the top 5 best Assassin's Creed game? Written by Saptadip Mitra. The article was posted in bloggertown.com community, in gaming category. Every 2000s kid has surely come across one of the top best Assassin's Creed game at some point. The game franchise from Ubisoft has a total of 12 main games and 17 spin-offs. That's a lot, right? Like every other franchise, the Assassin's Creed franchise has been through highs and lows. While the newer games like AC Odyssey, AC Origins, and AC Valhalla are too good, the games launched in the early years of the last decade are hated by the most. Assassin's Creed Unity was considered as the AC game with the best graphics till the release of Origins. Unfortunately, they put so much effort into the graphics that they forgot to make a good story. Unity is the worst. Well, we are not here for roasting AC Unity, so let's move on and talk about my top 5 best adventure games of all time. What are the best Assassin's Creed games ranked? Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Number 5 ranking best Assassin's Creed game. AC fans have mixed feelings about Syndicate. Some say it's one of the worst, while some say quite the opposite. I, personally, like Syndicate a lot. Syndicate was the first AC game that had 2 protagonists. The timeline of this game is the Victorian era, 1868 London. The main objective is to help the assassins take control of London and fight the corrupted industrial sector. The 2 protagonists, Jacob and Evie, do work together for the same goal, but have contrasting viewpoints. Syndicate did fill up for the bad impression of Unity, but it also had some issues of its own. The storyline and gameplay were perfect, but some issues like motion blurred during carriage rides and others. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Number 4 ranking best Assassin's Creed games. AC Valhalla is the latest edition of the AC franchise. AC Valhalla had the most successful launch, but it still has its haters. You may think that Ubisoft did a bad job with Valhalla, but I can assure you they didn't. So being in the 4th place amongst 12 games is not entirely bad. AC Valhalla comes with action-packed gameplay based on Viking Age 873, which is around 900 years after the events of Origins. However, like Odyssey and Origins, the events in Valhalla happens before AC1. Yes, the newer games are the prequels of the first AC game ever. AC Valhalla finally introduced the anytime character switch, unlike Origins where you will be locked to one character you choose initially. Assassin's Creed Origins. Number 3 ranking best Assassin's Creed game. AC Origins offers one of the best locations in the entire series, the mystical and beautiful ancient Egypt. However, people were getting tired of the British Guards and the same timelines in every game. So, Ubisoft decided to build the pyramids and took the game's timeline back to 48 to 38 BC. AC Origins has parkour and arcade-style gameplay, which is different from the rest of the games. Magic items and some mystical stuff are also there in the game. Overall, it is one of the best AC games ever and hence, takes the 3rd spot. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Number 2 ranking top Assassin's Creed games. I have never played AC Brotherhood, but after reading reviews, I will start playing the game in no time. AC Brotherhood was a sequel to AC2, except the gameplay was more amplified, and the missions were more action-packed. The story lacked a little if compared to AC2, but overall the game was good. Being an imminent sequel to AC2 is not a bad thing. The story follows Ezio's story, which is to restore Assassin's order in 16th century Rome. Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 2. Number 1 ranking best Assassin's Creed game. Yes, there are joint winners. Assassin's Creed 2 is by far the best AC game, that is, if you don't mind the graphics. It certainly cannot compete with the newer games in terms of the graphics, but AC2 is the father of all AC games in terms of story. AC4, Black Flag, on the other hand, has no strings attached to the main storyline. Instead, it's about a pirate who, due to some conditions, becomes an assassin. It is in the top spot because everyone can play this one despite not knowing the original storyline. That's the ranking top Assassin's Creed games, in my opinion. Well, my views may be biased, so that the list may vary according to some people. Thank you for listening to bloggertown.com community article.